Happy Tuesday, everyone, from Houston, Texas. Welcome to Stellar Parenting. I am your host, Brandi. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I also hold a Master of Science degree in psychology with an emphasis in child and adolescent development. And I'm super passionate about helping parents, teachers, and guardians learn how to mix the magic of the stars with the art of consciously raising children. You can go to my website if you're interested in a natal chart session. My sessions are a little different from other astrologers due to my background and my training as an evidential and trance medium. So during your session, I am giving you the definition of each placement that you have, but I also am able to channel the energy of each planet and allow that planet to speak through you, to you, through me. So if that's something that you would be interested in, you can book on my website. So for today, we've got quite a bit. I've got so much good information about the transits this week, crucial information that you absolutely need to know about the upcoming lunar eclipse on Friday, March 14th. And what we're going to start with, I have this month's highlights, this month's transit highlights for parents of children who are Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Libra, and Capricorn. And the reason why this is important for you as a parent to know what's going to happen in your child's life, because then you are able to much better support them and guide them through any difficulties that they might experience over the next few weeks. So that is where we will begin. I'm going to start with Pisces. So if you are the parent of a child who in particular has Pisces rising, or you can also use this for Pisces sun, okay? This is what your child will be going through for the rest of the month. So they may be rethinking how to handle their money, their allowance, their savings. They might start questioning how they're spending, and they might actually ask you for more financial independence. They might want a little bit of independence from you in this area over the next few weeks. And don't be surprised if they are feeling a little bit frustrated, if there are delays with them receiving the money that they expect, like for chores or as an allowance. But this is really a good time to help them build better financial habits like budgeting and goal setting, while also teaching them patience when things don't happen immediately like they expect. Now, aside from finances, they will also be reevaluating their friendships and relationships. So they really might start to question, and this is in particular for teenagers, they really might start to question who truly values and respects them. And there could be some social tension within their circles, okay? So this is an opportunity to talk to your child about self-worth, boundaries, and making sure they surround themselves with people who uplift them. Very important. Now, if your child is feeling really sensitive or unsure of themselves, remind them to be gentle on themselves and just to really feel their emotions. If they express a sudden urge to change something like their appearance, like so maybe they want a drastic haircut, a new piercing, or a complete wardrobe overhaul, ask them to wait until Venus retrograde is over. Otherwise, they might regret some of the decisions that they make during this time, and they might feel the need to redo them later on. Also, as Mercury retrograde picks up in the second half of the month, there could be misunderstandings around money, around finances, around allowances. So make sure that communication is open between you and your child. But by the end of the month, there is a fresh start coming with finances due to the solar eclipse, okay? So maybe your child will have a new savings plan. Maybe they'll have an unexpected financial opportunity come up, or maybe they will have a shift in their perspective and they will start feeling more confident about how they handle their resources, okay? Now for Sagittarius rising, your child may be a little bit more reactive or impatient over the next few weeks. And you really might need to practice extra patience and open communication. So if they are involved in creative projects, if there are teams that they play on, if there are hobbies they are involved in, progress might feel a little bit slower than usual. Okay. And instead of pushing them to move forward quickly, really encourage them to use this time where things have really slowed down quite a bit to refine their ideas and approach things more thoughtfully. Now, at the same time, they might feel the need to go back and reconnect with some of their old friends. Okay. And this could be an important period for mending relationships or gaining closure. So, encourage your child to reflect on whether these connections are still healthy and whether they are aligned with who they are becoming, the person they are becoming. Now, career related matters or long term goals could also face some delays here. Excuse me. If your teen has a job, an internship, or is really focused on academic achievements, progress might feel slow. All right. They might experience miscommunication with authority figures like mentors, professors, or teachers or bosses. Remind them that these challenges are only temporary. Okay. And the lunar eclipse will really highlight their public image, their reputation, or their career path. So they may need to release something related to school, a leadership role, or a personal goal. If they feel frustrated about these changes, remind them that this is just clearing space for something better to come in. And by the end of the month, there's a fresh start in their creative expression, their hobbies, their relationships with younger siblings and children. All right, so that's for Sagittarius. Now we've got Virgo, parents of Virgo rising, Virgo sun children. So this month, there's a strong focus on your child's eighth house of shared resources. So they may be rethinking how they manage money, their allowances, if there's any financial agreements. And if they're old enough to have a job or savings, they may need to reassess their spending, if they have any debt, or if there's any shared financial responsibility. Relationships might also feel a little bit challenging this month for these Virgo rising teens and young adults. If they've been struggling with friendships or close connections, there could be tension that comes to the surface that really requires a deep conversation. A past relationship, whether a close friend or an old crush, may resurface, and that could bring up unresolved feelings for your teen. Okay. And this is a really great time to help them to reflect on what they need or what they require in relationships and friendships. Now, career and academic growth is also highlighted. Jupiter will be in their 10th house. So there's the potential for recognition, a leadership role, or an exciting new opportunity. However, if your child is doing too much and pushing too hard with school, extracurricular activities, and jobs, encourage them to set boundaries and to prioritize their rest, because burnout is a real possibility for these Virgo rising teens and young adults. The lunar eclipse will also bring a turning point in their relationships, their partnerships, or collaborations. So it could mean the end of a friendship or a shift in an academic or extracurricular partnership for your child. Okay. And this change may be a little bit difficult, but help them to see that change and new things happening always opens up the door for more aligned relationships and opportunities. Gemini rising and Gemini sun. Now, with Venus retrograde moving through their 11th house, your Gemini rising child might want to reconnect with old friends or get back in touch with old groups, reaffiliate themselves with old groups or organizations. This is an important time for them to really reevaluate their friendships and social connections. That's what this lunar eclipse is all about for Gemini. If your child is involved in artistic work, this is a great time for them to refine their vision of what they really want to accomplish. And they may also need to rethink their social media presence or how they engage with the world. Help them navigate this by discussing healthy boundaries and healthy ways of expressing themselves. Now, if there have been any questions about moving, your child or adolescent could be experiencing some emotional turmoil, okay, that really might be affecting their sense of stability and belonging. Just be patient and supportive as they're going through these emotional challenges at this time. Now, after March 21st, after the sun goes into Aries, for these Gemini rising and Gemini sun children, their social life or team involvement is going to become even more active, whether through clubs, group activities, or new friendships. They will feel drawn to really spending time with their peers or in group settings. And if they've been feeling a little bit isolated, this energy will help to bring them back out into the social setting and not so much tucked away at home all by themselves. But here's the best part for Gemini. By the end of the month, new financial opportunities could emerge. So it could be a new allowance structure or a new job opportunity. And it can mark the beginning of a more empowered approach to money for Gemini rising and Gemini sun children. Now, Libra rising, Libra sun, teens and young adults. Mercury retrograde is going to be going through their seventh house of partnerships. Okay, so misunderstandings are probably going to happen. So, misunderstandings, delays, confusion in close relationships. So, it could be with friends, teammates, or even teachers. Your child might feel like they are not being heard or that communication is just really off. Old friends might pop up again, either for closure or a second chance. So, but this month is not only about friendships for Libra, it's also about collaborating in a group or a school partnership. So encourage your child to be clear with their words and to ask questions when they're not sure about something, and to avoid rushing into a commitment that they might later regret. The lunar eclipse for Libra could bring an ending to a job, an activity, or a responsibility. So if something in your child's schedule has been a little bit overwhelming or unfulfilling, the eclipse may push them to really let go and make space for something better. Here's the good news for Libra, though. By the end of the month, a fresh start emerges in their relationships, whether it's a new friendship, a strengthened connection with a friend already, an older friend, or a powerful new collaboration. They'll really start to get a sense of the people who belong in their life. And finally, Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun children, teens, young adults. So this month is going to be all about home, family, and having a sense of stability for these children. They'll be in a reflective period over the next few weeks where they're really reviewing and rethinking their foundations and their personal and their academic life. So Mercury retrograde is going to be going through their fourth house of home and family. So unresolved issues related to home or family dynamics may come up again. And your child may feel more emotional about things that happened in the past as they are remembering. And this could be a good time to encourage an open conversation about their experience. If there are unspoken tensions within the family or amongst siblings, this retrograde period really gives you the opportunity to try to work through these. So keep that in mind. On a practical level, your child may also be focused on changes at home. Maybe they're redecorating their room. Maybe you guys are renovating, or maybe they're just reorganizing everything. So if they've been asking for a change in their room or their routine, they might feel motivated to make those changes right now. But also remind them Mercury retrograde can bring some delays. So we've got to have some amount of patience with anything that we are redoing right now. And at the same time, they're going to be reevaluating their goals, their sense of direction. They might even be questioning their academic path, their extracurricular activities, or their long-term aspirations. But this is also a great month. And with the family, there could be some financial tensions that come up, some problems with budgeting. Maybe mom or dad, we feel a little bit strapped for cash a little bit, and your child might be concerned. So it's a great time to teach your child patience and mindful decision making when it comes to spending money. Teaching them to avoid impulsive purchases that they may later regret, and not spending money on things that don't really align with their needs. So by the end of the month, though, this is what I love. There's a new beginning in the home, family, or living situation. There could be a change in the family dynamic, or a fresh perspective on what home means for your child. Okay. So keep that in mind, parents of Capricorn Sun, Capricorn rising children. Okay, so for this week, the transits, really big things going on. So today, Tuesday, March 11th, Mercury is conjunct Venus retrograde at 8 degrees of Aries. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication and our thinking process. And Venus represents love, beauty, pleasure, money, how we relate to people. So when we put these two together, Mercury wants to think about and verbalize everything that Venus retrograde has been reviewing and rethinking. So the energy of Venus in Aries retrograde is all about relating to others in a way that does not compromise our independence and our individuality. So, for example, the energy of Venus in Aries retrograde may have caused you to silently be thinking about how friendships or relationships have hindered your freedom, your individual expression. And this energy may have also caused you to desire some type of financial freedom. And now Mercury is going to act as a megaphone for that Venus retrograde and articulate everything that we've been rethinking. So this week, you or those around you may be speaking out about boundaries that have been crossed in relationships and friendships, and how it's something that's absolutely got to change. So this week, if you feel empowered to speak your truth, and especially if you're a parent with young children, and your children are watching you really verbalize and articulate for yourself and set clear boundaries, it's a life lesson they will never forget. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, March 12th, we've got Sun conjunct Saturn at 22 degrees of Pisces, and this Sun conjunct Saturn transit happens once a year. So tomorrow's our day. The Sun is all about our ego, our identity, vitality, and Saturn is the planet of discipline, commitment, and focus. And Saturn can teach difficult lessons if we lack structure. So when we combine these two powerhouses, you might be feeling really serious about where you are going and very focused on what it will take to get there, what it will take to succeed. You may feel determined to put in the difficult work to make it to where you want to be during this time, okay? Feeling like you really want to buckle down and get it done. So this is a great time to write a plan and to be disciplined. And you'll get a boost of energy in this direction with Saturn helping you out. Also, if you've already been putting in the time, the effort, and the commitment with your goals, especially goals related to creativity, spirituality, or healing, there may be something that happens that really validates your hard work and your dedication. So, for example, if you're a musician, the way that my father was a professional musician. Maybe you've really been working toward a major goal or a major performance. And if you've been disciplined, committed, and focused, this could be the time where you absolutely shine. This transit will also give you the opportunity to recommit yourself to your spiritual or creative pursuits with discipline. But there's a caveat here. If you have not been applying yourself with discipline, with focus, with commitment, there could be a situation that comes up over the next few days where that is brought to your attention and you're made aware of it, okay? Now, another side of this transit, Sun-Saturn, is that responsibilities and obligations might seem absolutely overwhelming. And if this happens for you, it's important to maintain a sense of balance and not to take on more than you can handle. That's very important. Because the shadow side here of Saturn's energy is limitation and restriction, which can show up when we don't enforce proper boundaries around our time and our energy. And I have to tell you, yesterday my son told me he had batting practice at one location in Houston. I'm like, good, okay, I know exactly where we're going. We're halfway there, and he tells me, oh no, it's another location that was 30 minutes out of the way. And I felt absolutely overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is Sun Saturn. I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling all the responsibility, all of the obligation. I can breathe and make it through this. So if you hit one of those moments, especially if you're a parent, realize that it's only temporary and we are all going to work our way through this together. Now, for the biggie, the full moon lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo this Friday, March 14th. This full moon eclipse will be ruled by Mercury in Aries. And listen, Mercury will be stationary, will not be moving because he's preparing to go retrograde. Okay. So with this eclipse, you will really feel the need to release and to let go of anything that is holding you back from reaching your highest potential. And it will feel like a full moon on steroids, especially for people with natal planets or angles or points like the North Node or the South Node around 23 degrees of Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, or Sagittarius. And, I have a planet. One of my natal planets is at 25 degrees of Virgo, 2 degrees away from where this lunar eclipse is going to hit. And it's Tuesday, and I'm already feeling this. And, we can feel the eclipse up to 2 weeks before in a really strong way, or 2 weeks after. And things can continue to happen for up to 6 months. But you could already be feeling the energy, or your child, if either one of you has planets, angles, or points around 23 degrees of Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, or Pisces. And because of the proximity of the South Node to this full moon, you might feel absolutely exhausted, like you've lost all of your energy. The energy that you normally have, you just don't have it, and you've got to take a break and rest. And if so, honor that. Listen to your body and take a break and rest. Like I mentioned earlier, this eclipse is all about ending things, clearing things out, releasing things that are not serving you anymore. So when I was tapping into the energy intuitively of this eclipse, my guides showed me the 8 of Cups tarot card. And for those of you who know, you'll remember that card is all about leaving situations that are not good for you anymore, leaving toxic situations that may be draining you of your energy. And these situations, it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a job, a home. Maybe you guys are planning to move. It could be emotional baggage that you've been carrying around for years. Or it could also be like unwanted and unneeded possessions in your home. Maybe you want to clear the clutter. Now, there may be some heaviness with this, but there's also the realization that, hey, I really cannot continue to operate in this way anymore. I've got to release this. I've got to let it go. And then with that, you'll feel the need, like, yeah, I'm going to allow something new and something different to come in. With this release, I'm opening the door for something better. Now, intuitively, I also feel there will be major developments on the world stage and world events, and that these events will cause people to have significant realizations and internal shifts. Okay. So there could be shocking news, shocking developments, or information that's revealed over the next 2 weeks. Another thing that I picked up intuitively with this transit, I felt like I was in a pressure cooker, and that the pressure needed to be released. And I'm not talking about just pressure in society. I also was feeling pressure of tectonic plates, like when we have an earthquake or a geological disturbance. So over the next couple weeks, we could see something along those lines taking place. Okay. So I'm giving you permission to really trust what you feel. Trust what you feel. And if something feels off, pay attention and honor your intuition, not what everybody else is saying. Honor what you are feeling. Now, also on Friday, March 14th, the sun will sextile Uranus 24 degrees of Pisces to 24 degrees of Taurus. The sun is about our identity, our ego, our vitality. And Uranus is the planet of sudden change, freedom, breakthroughs, revolution. So this is a really energizing combination that emphasizes themes around freedom and independence. So you might be comfortable on this day being different or taking an unexplored approach. You might want to do something new, something original, and you might even experience a spark of genius when it comes to your creativity. So this will be the same day as the eclipse. So this wild card energy will be in the mix for the eclipse as well. So let's have fun with this one. All right. And finally, on Saturday, March 15th, Mercury will station retrograde at 9 degrees of Aries. And Mercury will be 3 degrees away from Venus retrograde. So this will be a time where we are, again, reviewing, we are reflecting about how we communicate, what our values are, how we spend our time, and how we nurture ourselves and each other. And even you might be focused on your relationship with your mother or mother figure or other women in your family. So, with Mercury retrograde, again, we're also reviewing, we are rethinking, we are redoing, reorganizing. So it's not really the time to start anything new, a new project, a new enterprise. It's time to finish up and wrap up what we've left undone when it comes to Mercury retrograde. And it's also time to question things that we've been told, things that we've always believed, and to ascertain whether or not it resonates with who we are today. So, with all of this wonderful energy this week, I really hope that you use it to its highest potential. Please set the intention to use it to its highest potential and practice a high degree of awareness when it comes to how your children may be feeling with the energy as well. So the stars may guide us. We're at the end of the show, and I like to remind you all the stars may guide us, but we ultimately hold the power to shape our own destiny. So keep shining bright, keep radiating your light, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you here again next week.